Now, an MLB owners meeting is with all 30 teams in one room with multiple representatives from each team. That's the main major league meeting. Prior to that, there are committee meetings, and there is a labor committee that is going to be formed, if not already, a negotiating committee, a competition committee, an international committee, a strategic planning committee. There's a finance committee. So there's committee meetings and then a big meeting. And then the commissioner does a small meeting where only one representative can go from each team. So in the Red Sox case, when it's owned by John Henry and Tom Werner, they have to choose only one of them can go to the meeting where it's one representative per club. And that's where the gold happens. That's in a small room. There's 30 people plus the commissioner and one or two representatives of the commissioner's office. And that's where they talk serious turkey. And the reason why I'm commenting on it right now while it's happening is the turkey that's being talked is about the labor negotiation. It is about confirming the strategy and the plan for Major League Baseball as they enter into these negotiations. You've read, and there's going to be lots of writers covering this. Well, you read, negotiations have begun, meetings, the two sides. News alert, they always meet during the World Series and the All-Star game because they're always in the same place. So when you read an announcement that negotiations have begun, they've met, it's preliminary. What goes on before true negotiations for a collective bargaining agreement is positioning, both publicly and privately. Because when you start an official negotiation of a CBA in whatever industry you're in, that is a legal term. Commencing negotiation, it is an official negotiating session. There has not been an official negotiating session right now for the CBA that expires at the end of this year. What happens is they are getting ready internally, both the union and the management, the owners, the commissioner's office. They are getting ready with their positions on all of the issues contained within the CBA. You do like a markup of the whole document. Well, this rule calls for 30 days. We'd like to change it to 45 days. I'm making that up. Something as mundane as that language change. And then you've got on another piece of paper the big tentpole issues: competitive balance, luxury tax, salary cap, minimum salary increase. There's a bunch of core issues that are negotiated. And what the commissioner has to do, and it is happening right now during this owners meeting, is he and Dan Hallam have to make sure that they can count to 23 on all of the core issues so that they know what they are negotiating toward. It doesn't mean they get it done in one session or 10 sessions. It doesn't mean that it will get done even after a work stoppage. But in order to go to another side in a negotiation like a CBA, you have to get your own side nailed. And that's what's happening right now. What the commissioner will talk about at the end of the meetings, he will not give us any information. He will not be extremely forthcoming, in my opinion, about exactly what happened during the owners' meeting, because he in no way wants to give any public indication to the players. But I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to let the players know what owners are discussing, and I'll tell the players right now, you can bet that they're ready. You can bet that they're ready with the main core issues, Tony and Bruce, because they have a problem. The problem they have has been manifested publicly up in San Diego. The problem they have is that while you all think that these teams are worth all of these billions of dollars, the problem they have is immediate cash issues because of the way they run their team. Because they so badly want to win, they so badly want players on their team, they're so willing to overpay, but eventually you have to pay the piper. If you borrow from your future in order to finance your present, it's going to catch up with you. That goes for businesses, that goes for individuals, it goes for all of us. If you are irresponsible because you are into the moment and you have the view, oh, don't worry, it's like the credit card for people who can't afford their credit cards. Hey, I really want this item now. And so then the US gets to announce the economy is buzzing. People are buying stuff. There is activity. But then all of a sudden, the bill comes. Whether it's a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, at some point the bill comes and the owners have a large bill that is due. You've already seen teams try to deal with that bill. The Minnesota Twins had a large bill coming. It forced the Pollard family to bring in investors to raise money to pay down the debt they incurred. You've seen the Padres are now for sale because they've got a level of debt, like $150 million that's owed to the owners because they had to finance the team. The bill came due, and what do? They put the team up for sale. The bills that come due because your TV revenue is not what you expected it to be. Do you remember when I tell you that you raise your payroll to a point that's irresponsible, but you're going for it? The fans are happy. You're feeling good about yourself. But then the problem is that the season just ends. Even if you win the World Series, the season just ends and then it starts again. The entire cycle, you're back at zero. The boulder has rolled down the hill and crushed you, and you got to start pushing the boulder back up the hill immediately. The GM meetings, for crying out loud, were 72 hours after the World Series ended, and the Dodgers had to be there figuring out what the hell they're going to do. All of that is real about the flow. There is one thing about the owners' meetings that always interested me, and it wasn't ever the actual meetings. It was always the cookies and the fruit. The cookies and fruit are on the side or in the back of the meeting room. Owners get up during the course of a meeting, during a presentation, and they go to the cookies and the fruit. That's where a lot of discussion happens. Quiet discussion by the cookies and the fruit. A lot of owners talking to owners. An MLB commissioner's office and their people are smart because they position themselves near the cookies and the fruit because they want to see which owners are talking to which owners and what they need to be concerned about if there's a little coup happening, if there is a little group that is being put together that could present a problem. The commissioner holds a cocktail party and a dinner every owners meeting. And there are members from the commissioner's office who are circling about at that dinner, at that cocktail party, as they listen to make sure that there is not a group of owners, small market, large market, low revenue, high revenue, that there is not a group of owners getting together and hatching a plan that could in any way hurt what Major League Baseball is trying to do as an industry. You think that right now, Dick Monfort of the Colorado Rockies is not being watched by people in the commissioner's office? You think that it is somehow a coincidence that Dick Monfort is going to be named as one of the people involved in the negotiation of the new CBA, and he's the one who's been public saying, hey, we need a salary cap. He actually had the quote, the only way to fix baseball is to do a salary cap and a floor. Do you think that that's a mistake, a coincidence? Totally purposeful. Dick Monfort around the cookies and the fruit is trying to see whether he's got enough owners with him to make the players believe that a salary cap and a salary floor is going to be the hill that the owners will die on during this negotiation. Is it that hill? No. Are they going to say it is their hill? Yes. That's when you get a work stoppage. That's when you get an extended negotiation, when there is a hill that you have spent years convincing the other side that you will die on, and you know from the beginning that's not your hill. That is the art of the negotiation. And the negotiation has started. Make no mistake.